Hi guys, Nick60 here, coming to you with a first impressions of the Aufklärungspanzer. I know that I'm really late to the party here, but after what I was prepared to experience with this tank and, well, what actually happened in a match, I'm not entirely sure where people are getting their opinion of this tank. The tank is nicknamed the Awful-Panther because of its initials, but yeah, I don't have a lot of experience and my opinion may change, but I am not under the impression that this is a particularly awful tank. And admittedly I'm not grinding it up from nothing, but by the time you reach your tier 7 light tank, you should have the abilities to, unless this is the first thing you run into, to eliminate some of the worst woes of a stock tank. Now, as a quick look at what this thing is, it is a Panther hull with a light tank turret. Stock, actually, it is basically just a looks that ate too much. And that is how it shall be viewed from now on. You add the new turret, and I had the gun, which we'll get to in a sec, and it has a little bit, and it basically becomes a VK-2801 that ate too much. And yeah, it's really big for a light tank, but it's also better armored than most light tanks. Its stock gun is truly crap. However, if you've been, pushing your way through several other lines and not just rushing for it, you should have access to everything except the top engine. Depending on how far you've gotten, you can have up to everything except the top engine, the turret, and the suspension, which is, I did. I didn't bother putting in that much free experience, but I have the free experience because of the fact that I run multiple lines at the same time. To just drop the 8,000 into the suspension and the 5,000 into the turret, because I had the WAF, so I wanted to use the WAF. And I am just gonna go a normal grind for the rest of it because I don't want to spend that much experience on it. So that may have colored my opinion some, in that I was able to drop in, replace the 650 horsepower engine with the 700 horsepower engine. The fact that I did skip the stock tracks, which did have a worse load limit and traverse speed, and that I skipped the 5cm gun, which, when you look at the stats, really is crap. 70 damage and 67 penetration. You need to gold your way through that gun, and I'll admit that you do need to upgrade the turret as soon as you can, which requires the tracks. And I had the radio, so I just dropped the radio in. But even then, a lot of the reputation that it gets out of it is as fully upgraded, so with an even better engine than I have in it now. And it just doesn't seem that awful to me. Now, admittedly, I tend to play, particularly my German light tanks, very aggressively, because they typically have the gun to do it. I mean, I use the derp on this thing and would just run up to people and splat them in the face. I preferred the WAF in this one because of its superior penetration and rate of fire. Under 3-second reload. Yeah, and again, maybe my crew skills and equipment set that I dropped in straight from the bat probably didn't hurt either, but again, I'm going off of my first game seeming to have run much better than what most people say any games in this tank should go. And like I said, between my crew and this, they might be thinking for some reason that you're still running 50% crews and stock equipment. I don't know, but like I said, it's just, yeah, it does have an interesting setup for a light tank. It's got 950 hit points, which is 300 more than the VK-2801, which is pretty good. Well, it's a light tank, so you're not running on HP anyways, but I don't know. 50% increase. It is heavy at 42 tons right now. That's pretty heavy. 700 horsepower with the medium engine. It goes up to 9. Is a bit sluggish, as you'll see in a minute. But it has a 60 kph top speed, which you'll see even this engine can get it to, which isn't bad, especially with 85 millimeters of frontal armor. This thing is a battering ram of a light tank. 50 sides, 40 rear, meh. I mean, you're not going to really be wanting to rely on your armor to take shots, but it is a pretty good battering ram of a frontal armor for tanks, for a light tank especially. 40 traverse speed, not bad. Turret, both stock and upgraded have the same everything except for view range. 50 in the front, 30 on the sides and rear. Bleh. It's a small target at least. Both of them are. And yeah, same 44 degree traverse speed. So this thing can get its gun turned pretty quickly. And base is 390 for view range. I have mine up to 410. Standard shell damage, we're going to say roughly in the 150s. Standard shell penetration also 150s. So, you know, I'm not expecting a big derp gun, especially not even after playing this. I'm not expecting to run around derping people in the face with one-shot kills. And in this, really, you're only doing that to other light tanks anyways. I take being able to chip away health pretty reliably over that. And that's exactly what the WAF does. Rate of fire, 17.65 rounds per minute. Again, it has under 3-second reload with this setup, which is awesome. And yeah, the view range, as I said, 390, 710 base, 410, 757 is what I have it up to. It does its job. And let's see, what else do we cover? As we said, the AP 75 caliber, I already did the penetration damage. The APCR does have up to 276 penetration with the same damage, so if you need to, if you really need to put holes in the target, you have the APCR to fall back on, which those 2 rounds you don't need HE. I find HE to be really unreliable unless it's a derp gun anyways, so yeah, I think that that's pretty good, personally, for the tier it's in and stuff, just because you have an option here that will allow you to pretty reliably get some damage in. As usual, the repair kit, fire extinguisher, small first aid kit. I mean, come on. There's other options, but I don't really see any need to use them. Equipment. Vents, 5% bonus to all crew skills. Not just basic ones, but also learned ones. Medium caliber gun rammer. More shots the better. Vertical stabilizer, plus 20% accuracy during movement and turret rotation. Yes, please, especially on a light tank. Crew skills. This is where it gets interesting, because my crew is not set up for a normal light tank crew for this tank, but like I said, particularly for my German light tanks, I tend to play them much more aggressively than the other light tanks. We have, obviously, Sixth Sense, because, come on. Sixth Sense is a must for everything. And for those who don't know, what that does is it lets you know that you've been spotted. It takes 3 seconds to kick in, but at least you have that heads up. As well as trained up to 70% mentor. Thank you, Panzer Hotchkiss, and thank you, Panzer 2D. My gunner has snapshot, 83% up so far. My driver has off-road driving and smooth ride. Again, thank you, Hotchkiss and 2D. My radio operator has situational awareness for better view range. I'll explain these again, I'm sorry. And my loader, thank you 2D, has safe stowage and camouflage. Camouflage should be obvious. It decreases the odds of the tank being seen. And as a light tank, this vehicle maintains its admittedly poor camo rating, even when moving. And safe stowage decreases the chances of ammo rack damage or exploding, which I hate ammo rack damage, so. Also, this thing's pretty easy to hit its ammo rack, so why not? The ones I accidentally skipped over, off-road driving basically improves acceleration, turning everything when you're not on roads, which I don't like to drive on roads a whole lot. And smooth ride improves gun accuracy on the move again. And then snapshot also improves gun accuracy when moving, rotating the turret and stuff. So all about making sure that shots hit the target. Equipment, vents, as I said, 5% to all crew skills, rammer, keep the gun moving. I already said this. Yeah. So we'll just because I'm not going to show you to the end of it, because I do end up getting myself killed. That is my first match in this thing. 14 penetrations, 3 kills, 6 critical module damage, 1 assist target, and 4 spots. 35,000 credits and almost 3,000 experience. Fired 26 shots, 19 hits, 14 penetrations. Did almost 2,000 damage. I took 7 hits. Bounced 2 of them, which, for at least me driving a light tank, that's a lot of bounces. It's, yeah, that was a pretty good game for my first game in this tank. So, now that we've started with the results, let's go have a look at how this thing actually played, okay? Okay, so here we are. The Aufklärungspanzer first game almost fully upgraded. And the reason that I have blocked out where the chat sits is because our T-32, normally I don't care about the usual BS, noob, rants, my team sucks kind of crap. Our T-32 really goes over the edge, and that's stuff that I don't want to see on this channel. What he says. So, just, there you go. So, random shot from the IS. This is first game, almost fully upgraded, because everything else was researched. You can see already that it is sluggish when you start moving, especially getting started going uphill. But I'm still scouting, moving forward ahead of the team, and it can still build up a decent clip once it's allowed to go. And yeah, just keeping an eye out, stuff that I can test this gun out on. And right around this corner is where we first make contact with the enemy on this part of the map. 2 light tanks, a VK-2801 and a Type 62 are coming around. Here we go. And he knocks out my treads. I take a chunk out of his health. Take a chunk out of his health. Miss. He damages my gun. I move forward. Take a chunk out of his health again. Lose a tread again. Take another chunk out of his health. Take another chunk out of his health. This thing's rate of fire is great for just eating away people's health. Get the treads back up. take a second to orient myself and go after them. Most other tanks, that would have been it for me. Missed my next shot, hit that shot. Fall back to reorganize and not give that heavy a chance to start taking shots. The light tanks I can deal with. The heavy, I need a little bit of a plan besides just rushing around, but we've already proven that this tank lends itself to aggressive tactics. I mean, its armor and health pool were enough to take on a 2-on-1 battle, knock one out, and chase the other one away. Yes, I did have backup come around, but that didn't start the battle with assistance. 1 shot, 2 shots. Reliably damaging whatever you come in front of. Whatever you come across. Keep rolling forward. Try to spot targets for the... Well, I'm not really trying to spot targets for the AL. I'm just trying to take shots at that Digger Max. Random shot doesn't do anything. Move forward. Oh, the Digger Max is back. Let's take some more shots at him. And someone else gets him before my shell reaches the target. Moving forward again. So already, I think that this thing's aggressiveness has already been shown. I mean, I would be dead in most of my other light tanks right now. No questions asked. And it's not like you want to rely on your armor to really save you, but you're relying on your rate of fire and penetration to save you. Knock out his treads, but he repairs almost instantly. Put more shots into him. Knock out his treads again, come around, and use that frontal armor. Over 200 damage on that ram, and I'm still alive. I can guarantee you right now that that would have killed me in any of my other light tanks. That most definitely would have killed me in any of my other light tanks that I have. And continue pushing forward. Following the VK Mini Tiger. There's no other name for that but the Mini Tiger. Seeing if I can't get the last arty. Oh, T28. And I decide, why the heck not? Aggressiveness has worked so far. Keep pushing forward. Mini Tiger dies. Target and put one last shot into the artillery, and the Tiger 2 gets me. But almost 2,000 damage, 3 kills, including a ram kill on an artillery. I personally cannot find anything wrong with it besides, yeah, it's a big target, but I don't know. I just don't find any issues with that. And like I said, I'm no Jingles or Quickie Baby. I'm not some expert tanker, which actually I think lends itself to my argument that the Awful-Panther isn't actually awful. I mean, I think that really what saved me through this match was this tank having the armor that it does and the rate of fire and penetration that it does, instead of just plinking at enemies and watching everything bounce off and dying to the first hit it takes, which really is what a lot of my light tank combat tends to be whenever I get more aggressive with anything. Though, like I said, I'm definitely more aggressive with the Germans than any other nation's light tanks. But, you know, let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you want to give it a shot? What don't you like? Whatever. If you like this video and you want to see more, please check out my channel and subscribe. If you want to help support the channel, there are links in the description. And yeah, this has been the Not-So-Awful-Panther, or the Awful-Panther. Nick60 signing off. I will see you guys later.